What's up, YouTube? STUNTASTIC210 back at you with another sneaker review. This time over the Rodimus Prime Lebron 11. And if you couldn't tell, everything is pretty much Transformer themed due to the fact that Transformers 4 Age of Extinction is releasing, and I'm super stoked about Transformers. Of course, I'm a big Transformers fan myself. Grew up watching them, and it was kind of like my inspiration behind the ID. If you saw my previous video, the New Balance Beverly's Neapolitan, that was my Mother's Day shoe to her, and this I guess it would be my Father's Day gift for my dad, because growing up I remember watching Transformers, and this was when the movie was about to come out, and I had to be 6 years old at the time, so I was extremely excited, and it was like one of the most distinct memories I remember being with my dad and him taking me to the movie theater and checking it out. And it's one of those things where there was one part in the movie, if you've seen it, the original joint, the cartoon version, if you've seen it, like, it was a lot of stuff that was going on in there, and I wasn't really prepared myself. So there was one part where there was cursing, and it's one of them moments where you with your dad and you hear it and you like, cause old boy went off in the movie and he was like, oh shit. And I looked at my dad like that little cat from Puss in Boots, like, oh. So I didn't really know what to expect. And then they dropped a bombshell by killing off Optimus Prime. So I had like essentially like another father figure I grew up with. This motherfucker's dying on the screen. I was like, no, that can't be possible. Like, he was the whole reason why Transformers were there, why they were together, why they came together as one. So to see that on screen, it was pretty emotional for a 6-year-old. You can pretty much imagine all the turmoil I was going through. I wasn't expecting none of this. It was cussing, it was death. They didn't prepare me for all that was going on, but it was one of those distinct memories that I had that stuck with me for so long. So I had to do this shoe pretty much in honor of my dad, and I felt that this was the perfect time given the fact that Transformers is releasing this weekend. So I have a few Transformer inspired shoes. Of course, you had the pack that they released a while back, the Bo Jacksons, the SC2 trainers, and then the CJ81s. Both great shoes. They came in a pack. I essentially wanted that, but I couldn't see myself spending $500. And then one pair was a pair of cleats, and my fat ass gonna run a slant route to the fridge. Like, what am I gonna do with them? So I just opted for the two that were regular I can pretty much wear. So, but still, I mean, it's a great collaboration that they did. It came with the figure and everything. But let me get into the actual Rodimus Prime joint right here. And I'm not saying it because I actually made the shoe, but it came out extremely well. And here it is, even with the little Transformer hang tag, Autobots. Now, this was on Nike ID, and the thing with Nike ID is it can be pretty fickle. So some options, they allow you to do so much with the shoe, but then sometimes they don't. So you don't really know unless you go on there, and you just have to pick and play and choose what you really want to do. They actually, after I saw the Lebron 11 for the longest time, I thought of it as a Transformer. Just the way the silhouette was set up, it was so blocky and distinct. It just reminded me so much of a Transformer. So I was waiting for the right time and the right options to be available. And they actually had a chrome option, and that's what I actually used for this one. So they had the orange, in a chrome, which is pretty much like the hyperposit material, and then they had the yellow in chrome as well. Just the mesh part, simply red, and I tried to mirror it as close as possible to Rodimus Prime. As you can see, that's pretty much his distinct colors. And if you also notice, I have for the fly wire, I added the blue, and this is actually a glow sole, so the sole does glow in the dark. And I have pictures posted on my Twitter and Instagram so you guys can check it out. And the soles hold the charges really well. Nike has really outdone themselves on Nike ID. The options that are available now, they give you so much to work with. So I was really pleased with how well the shoe came out. Like I said, again, really well done. The thing that gets me the most, like I said, with it being Nike ID, it does take a long time to get here, as opposed to the New Balance I did, which took at least maybe 2 weeks at the most, because it's here in the US. The fact that you have to wait so long, so you essentially have to plan out what shoe you're gonna make. But in the end result, when you get it in and you see how well it's done, you're gonna be happy. But just take that into consideration when you are gonna be making a shoe, that you have to plan this stuff out way in advance. And I haven't really worn the shoes as much, just for I've taken them out, and me and Texas Kicks, the photographer, big shout out to him. He put together some high resolution pics, and they came out really well. And again, I'll have them posted on my Twitter and Instagram feed, STUNTASTIC210, so you guys can get better views of it. But he did a really great job on showcasing and enhancing the shoe. But it came together really well. And again, I'm more so impressed with the actual glow sole, because it really does hold a charge pretty well. And we just had like a regular high intensity LED light, and we shined it on there, and it held a charge for a good while. So, and I went with the glow sole, which I'm not sure, I know a lot of the younger viewers probably won't remember, but if you watch the movie, he was essentially the chosen one, I should say, after Optimus Prime passed away. And one of the things that really stuck out to me was he had the Autobot Matrix of Leadership, and which glowed blue essentially. And if you notice at the end of the movie, when they were fighting Unicron, he pulled it open, and there was an intense blue glow from the Autobot Matrix of Leadership. So I wanted to incorporate that into the sole, and then essentially emanating from the fly wire to try to showcase all the elements, which is Rodimus Prime. And one of the cool things, I tried to get as much as I possibly could, as close to the action figure as possible, and I added the gold accents to the swoosh, the LJ, to go along with the Autobot Matrix of Leadership. And also on the inside of the shoe, and again, I'll have it posted on my feed, the Twitter and Instagram, I put "till all are one," and that's the theme of the movie near the end, after they defeat Unicron, which is "till all are one," which they just wanted peace for everyone, all beings, and it's a good message for the kids. If you can deal with all the killing and the cussing, which I wasn't really prepared for, but at the end it really did have a good message for the kids involved, and that's "till all are one," and I wanted to capture that in the shoes as well. And it's one of those things, like I said, I had such a distinct memory of this when I was younger, so I just had to do this shoe, which was pretty much a tribute to my dad, because I remember that story so well. And it's one of those things and the thing that kills me when it comes to Transformers, like they were so cool at the time, and they still are. But if you've never transformed one, be prepared to be a little pissed off, because when you actually get a hold of one and you realize, you be so excited and you ready to transform from robot to vehicle mode and all that, you making all the changing sounds. 2 hours later, you barely got an arm pulled out. So that was one of the frustrating things with Transformers as well. When you got them as a kid, if you weren't that right age group, you were gonna be a little frustrated by what the outcome was gonna be, because it's not something. It's like Transformers are pretty much like it's like a sensationalized Rubik's Cube, but it looks all fancy. That's basically what it is. And I don't know if you've noticed, of course, I got the Dinobots because they're going to be in the film as well. So there was a site I went to and I was able to get the original joints, because I've seen the new action figures and I didn't really like how they were looking. So I decided to opt for these. And this one especially, this was the one that I really wanted to get, because it's one that my mom got. And I remember the Triceratops, and I just remember transforming, or trying to transform it on the kitchen floor back when I was younger. So I remembered that too. So I got that for my mom. But again, like I said, it's the outcome of everything. I was so happy and pleased with how well everything came out. And it's one of those things with Nike ID, can be tricky, but you definitely got to give it a chance. Sometimes you may not be able to afford, you know, custom jobs by customizers, because sometimes they are a little pricey, but it's definitely worth it, because they put their craftsmanship in their work. But for those of us that are on a budget, sometimes Nike ID, they'll have options available for you. If you have something in your head and you just have to get it out on the canvas, the end result can be this. So make sure to check it out. Again, I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Make sure to check out my Twitter and Instagram feed, because I'll have pics courtesy of Texas Kicks 830. Like I said, a lot of credit to him, because he caught like the best shots. And make sure to give him a follow and check out some of his work. Really great photographer here in San Antonio. But again, I appreciate you guys checking out the video, and I hope to see you again next time.